Today, let's talk about leadership, what it is and what it is not. Sometimes it's good to circle back and look at the basics of what we do, what the Lord has called us to do, and that's leadership. Now, some may say, I'm not a leader. I don't manage a company or ministry or a group of people. Well, think again. We all have a leadership role to play, even if it's just for one person. Certainly your leadership in your family is critical. I recently read a blog post, and this caught my attention. Leadership is not the ability to tell people what to do. Yes, there are roles you may have, a position that calls you to give direction and instruction, maybe even orders. That's often called legitimate power or organizational power. But there's a better indicator of leadership and a better comprehension of our role as leaders under the Lord's leadership. Look at this list of leadership attributes that I've gleaned from various places. Integrity in all things. Vision. Here's another one. Influence. We'll talk about that in a minute. The proper use of power. Praise for others on your team. Listening and then speaking. And having empathy for your team members. One blogger said that developing these attributes and others like them won't just make you a good leader, they will make you a better human. Ken Blanchard and Phil Hodges, in their book, Lead Like Jesus, have a good description of a leader and leadership in general. Leadership, they say, is a process of influence. Anytime you seek to influence the thinking, the behavior, or the development of people toward accomplishing a goal in their personal or professional lives, you're taking on the role of a leader. Influence, that's the key. And the best influence is what others gain from you willingly as they look at your life and see godly attributes. You don't force influence on others. That never works. Apart from organizational leadership, the largest group of leaders are in a category called life role leadership. This happens when we are in an enduring relationship with family and friends and others. According to Blanchard and Hodges, this is when we focus on growing and developing people and supporting mutual commitments. If we are in a leadership role, and if we are a follower of Jesus Christ, there is another element of leadership. Henry and his son Richard Blackaby wrote about it in their book, Spiritual Leadership. In the book, they give the very simple and straightforward definition of this type of leadership. Moving people onto God's agenda. I love that. That presupposes, by the way, that we know God's agenda, and that's a thought for another day. Jesus tells us that He is the vine, and we are the branches, and apart from the vine, we can do nothing. But then He promises this, if you remain in me, and my words remain in you, you may ask for anything you want, and it will be granted. Read that in John 15:7. So, what kind of leader are you today? And what kind of leader do you want to be tomorrow? Abide in Jesus, the vine. Godly leadership is worth all the effort. Jesus calls that much fruit. You can learn about the Media Alliance and our global ministry by visiting our website, MEDIALLIANCE.cc. And you can help us grow the impact of these messages by liking, subscribing, and sharing them with others. Thanks, and God's best.